The mayor says that the city's finance department brought multiple questionable invoices to his attention last Tuesday. And just this afternoon, the mayor saying that he has now accepted the resignation of Brian Holtz, the city's executive director of Parks and Recreation. Mayor Steve Austin basically telling the city commission that they're going to hold off. They are now going to postpone any vote on that possible deal between Big Rivers Electric and Henderson Municipal Power and Light. Due to storms in this area this afternoon, the governor had to depart on his plane from Boonville's airport a little bit earlier than expected, but people here in Warwick County say that it's just always good to see the chief executive come to town. Now, INDOT says that the first leg of this project, which includes paving Highway 41 again between Morgan and Lynch, that is expected to last out here until at least November. As for this entire project, including that Pigeon Creek Bridge, that will last until at least mid-2022. They posted several of these signs actually out here all about the 4-H grounds with several reminders, anything from wash or sanitize your hands frequently to always maintain that safe distancing. Also new this year, they have added some of these portable hand washing stations as well. The 47 warplane actually just took off out here from Evansville Regional moments ago on a flight over the city of Evansville with several people on board to kind of get a tour and overall feeling for that historic warplane. It'll make its descent back down here in a couple of minutes. Kentucky State Fish and Wildlife officials say that this was likely a black bear, and the exact same one that was recently spotted in nearby counties. Officials say that if you do happen to see this bear, please keep your distance. Shelley, EVSC Superintendent Dr. David Smith making that announcement about 30 minutes ago, saying that students, faculty, and staff will be strongly recommended to wear face masks, but they won't be required this school year. On with those residents today to talk about their allegations. The allegations which center around Darmstadt's maintenance superintendent. Now, it's also important to note here that no formal charges have been filed in this investigation, and therefore we are not naming the superintendent. According to these Darmstadt residents, they have photographic and video evidence showing Darmstadt's maintenance superintendent using town-owned equipment and the town's credit card for personal expenses. Both, they say, due to the lack of oversight and accountability, and both which should have resulted in the superintendent's termination.
And while we feel that this is a step in the right direction, it's just the beginning of what is needed. Our town council president, Paul Freeman, was actively trying to keep Jeff and remove the two whistleblowers from the maintenance department, saying that these types of actions are normal and are accepted.
In Princeton, wood panes, a broken metal roof, and a trail of debris on the sidewalk after storms blew through the city Thursday night. The damage centered around the 100 block of East Emerson Street. Officials say that they were surprised to learn that a roof had blown off.
That was the only big damage, yeah. Most of the other ones was just power lines down and trees, limbs, things like that have fallen. And we had a roof that came off and damaged a parked vehicle. Officers went out and took a property report over that.
Gibson County Sheriff Tim Bottoms says the roof of a building behind the jail blew off, causing extensive damage to the Community Corrections building. The storm damaged the county's radio tower on top of the jail. A specialized team will now have to come out to untangle the debris, but crews were already at work this morning. Princeton officials say this was likely a freak accident.
It seemed like it was a pretty quick occurrence. Damage was minimal, minus the roof and some of the trees that were down. I believe some people's properties had complained that some trees had been down and limbs had fallen in the yards.
Our eyewitness news cameras weren't allowed behind this fence at the jail, but you can see a large debris field with extensive damage. The garden behind the Union County Senior Services Center is something more than the beans, squash, peppers, and cucumbers.
We're supposed to help our neighbors, and it makes me feel good knowing somebody's not going hungry.
Some 80-plus homebound seniors receive their food and a smile from field to their front door. It's something that senior service officials say makes a big difference. We begin with that breaking news tonight in Henderson County. The sheriff's office is on scene of a shooting tonight on Basket Cemetery Road. Tonight in White County, where state police troopers are investigating a deadly crash that happened just after midnight. Now to Davis County, where the manhunt is over tonight for a suspect that deputies considered armed and dangerous. Now to those new developments after a shooting last week in Evansville. Tonight, the Vanderburgh County coroner confirms that one of the 4 people shot has died. Huckey State Police troopers have been called to a deadly crash on the Audubon Parkway. Police are looking for a suspect in a deadly hit and run. Authorities say that suspect ran over a man on purpose. Postponed games begin in just 15 days. Here is a live look right now at Shibuya Crossing in Tokyo. Transportation officials say that State Road 165 near Poseyville will completely close for pipe work. That closure is set to start tomorrow and last about a day, depending on weather conditions, where police are investigating after a pedestrian was struck by a vehicle and killed overnight. Police are investigating after they say a child died after being accidentally ran over by his father. Evansville police say that a woman was injured after being hit by a trailer being stolen from her business. Former Indiana police officer is behind bars tonight, accused of child solicitation. Tonight, we're starting with a developing situation in Evansville. Officers are investigating after a shooting at a Dollar General store injures one person this afternoon.